Hey guys, welcome to Facebook Live. Dr. Kim, so glad to see you. Hope you guys have started off to a really good week. This week, I am honored to have one of our team members, Chrissy Naylor, and her husband, Ryan, go with us. Where's Ryan?
Oh, I don't know. What is he doing? Oh, here he comes.
Oh, hey. Sorry, Dr. Kim, I had to do my hair.
Oh, you did such a nice job.
Thank you.
That's good. Thank you for taking the time to do that before we went live. So, how are you guys today?
Doing wonderful. Happy to be here. Thank you so much for asking us.
Well, Chris has been a part of the Awesome Marriage team for how long now?
About 2.5 years.
Yeah, I thought we're getting closer to 3 years, so it's been quite a while. If you're a marriage changer, you know her well because she communicates with the marriage changers and just does an awesome job for us. And of course, she gets to do that job because Ryan's there to support her and encourage her, and because it takes some time for the moms that work on our team to do the stuff for Awesome Marriage and then do everything else that they need to do as moms or work or whatever else. So thank you both for being here. So what's going on with you guys? Summer, kids, all that kind of stuff. Just tell us all about the boys and what you guys are up to this summer.
Yeah, so we have 4 boys. We are just feel very blessed to have them. Yes. They are sweet and firecrackers at times. But 2 of those boys have some special medical things going on with them, which we'll discuss later on. But this summer, we've really just been trying to do all the things we couldn't do last summer, right? So go to the movies, go to the beach, just anything outdoors is what we love to do.
Yes, beach every opportunity we possibly can.
Yes.
It might be a 3-hour drive, but we got it.
It's worth it. Yeah. No, I think you guys are right. I see so many people saying the same thing in a way of just, we didn't get to do anything last summer. And like this summer, we are not going to miss anything. We're just going to enjoy everything. And I know the kids do too, because it was hard on kids too last summer, for sure.
It was so hard. Just, I think the lack of being around other kids, that was probably the hardest thing for our kids. They love being around people. So
yeah, absolutely. So you guys have been married how long now?
You don't know.
We're going to we celebrated 10 years last November.
Yes.
And we've been together about 15 years.
Yeah. I thought you guys had your 10th. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's really good. So Chrissy, you've been with Awesome Marriage. So what do you tell people a little bit about what you do at Awesome Marriage?
Sure. So my official title is fundraising administrator. Basically what that entails is anything donation based that's coming through. So I'll deal with like the money part of it, the monetary part of it. But my favorite part of my job is definitely working with such an awesome team and working with the Marriage Changers. So if you haven't heard about Marriage Changers, I highly suggest you check it out. It's just a great opportunity to be able to reach our listeners, pray for them, for the things that they're walking through. And I just feel so honored to be a part of that. And Ryan and I, we definitely pray over those marriages and we lift them up to the one who can help, right?
Yes, she's very excited about that.
Yeah, and it's grown and you've done a great job with that, leading that area and all the things that you do at Awesome Marriage. What's your favorite thing about working? You kind of said the team. Anything else you'd say that's your favorite thing?
Well, I mean, I just kind of do want to talk a little bit about the team. And so, a lot of us are working moms and dads, and it's just it's such a blessing to be able to reach out to you guys if there's something we need, or maybe we just need a moment, or we need prayer. You guys are always there for us. And I just truly stand behind what Awesome Marriage is doing. And we believe in marriages the way that God intended and that they should thrive. And so that is probably the best part, is that we're able to help others. And sometimes in turn, they help us, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think so. That's one thing I love about Marriage Changers. Hopefully the people that are part of that grow their marriage. And then one of my goals always has been that they're able to pour into some other people. Just, they might not have a small group in their home, but just the people they're around, and they can just model what it means to have a Christian marriage. And so I love to see that grow and see more couples, and would love for new people to sign up. You can just find that on the website, and we'll get you all the information about it.
Yeah.
That's good. So Ryan, tell people a little bit about what you do.
Yes, right now I'm working with Colony Tire as a territory sales manager, looking to help anyone who has commercial rubber needs.
And that's
Get to go around from job site to job site, business to business, just trying to be that extra employee for them that would help them with their tire purchasing and current inventories or anything they may have troubleshooting with. It's been wonderful. I love the outside sales aspect of it. I love getting to travel around, talking with different people, talking to different shops, seeing what other businesses do, and develop a relationship with those few people who do say yes and allow me to try to help them the best I can. Been going on. I just celebrated 5 years with them this July, so not too long ago, and certainly appreciate the opportunity and just being able to work, especially after this last year. I felt very, very blessed, Dr. Kim, to be able to continue my job and just to continue to go around and selling tires.
No, that's good. Well, your personality seems to fit what you're doing very well. I'm sure people are excited when they see you walk through the door.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kim. I appreciate that.
So with Chrissy working at Awesome Marriage, how do you feel that has affected your marriage?
I do feel that it's had, if anything, a positive aspect to it. We are blessed that we're able to be here, that she found your ministry and that you were able to allow her to help you with that. I myself, I know maybe a couple years back, I benefited very much off of the date designs, and I was able to do those. I will be honest, I'm not the best at setting aside a time and setting up a date, or maybe getting childcare for the kids. But Awesome Marriage has certainly shown me that is very important, more than I maybe like to think that it is. And the date design boxes helped for myself, and just making it more of a priority to set some time aside and have those nights where we could dedicate that time to each other.
Wow.
I love that. I see the passion that Chrissy has. She gets so excited when another marriage changer comes. I get to help her sometimes with the shirts and the mailing, and she's just smiling the whole time, listening to the music, just loving it. And it's a great, I think it's a great little, I'm looking for the right word, maybe an escape away from the family time and the children, because she is dealing with them for the majority of the day while I'm at work and everything. And I'm very happy she gets to do that, and the opportunity. When we thank you, Dr. Kim.
Oh, that's good. That's great. It's always good. I think so. I think, when I'm teaching, when I'm doing things, when writing, Nancy always says I'm a better husband, because I think the more we focus on it, the better we get at it.
Absolutely, yeah.
We all still work on it. So what do you guys like to do in your spare time? Any hobbies, anything like that you guys do?
Well, I love music. I like to write music, sing music. I'm not good at playing it, but I play it. And it's also been like kind of a great thing for me and my 16-year-old son, because he's picked up the love for music as well. And so just to go alongside with him on the worship team at church, to see him step out in the leader roles at youth ministries at other churches, that's been a huge blessing.
Yes,
yeah, Ryan plays guitar too, but he'll tell you he doesn't. But yes, he plays the guitar. And another thing we love to do is garden. Like, we love gardening.
Yeah, that's good. So that's something you guys do together?
Yes.
Yes, she tells me how to do it, and then I try to get it done. She certainly helps. I don't mean to take that away from you.
You do a great job.
But she does a lot more of the research and everything. And I'm just so excited. Just get out there, get my hands on it and everything, without maybe taking the necessary steps to learn what to do first.
Is this going to grow in North Carolina or not? Maybe one of those basic things like that, right?
Yes. Yeah. What zone are you in? Don't plant that this time. But yeah.
All the research that goes into that.
Yes.
Good team. Love it.
So, Chrissy, you mentioned the two kids that you guys have that have special needs. You want to kind of talk about both of them and what they have and what you deal with as a parent? Because I know when people realize that we're talking about special needs of kids, that a lot of people are going to tune in to watch this.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I hope they do. I hope the Lord will speak through me and use his words to draw them closer to him and bring them comfort through whatever they're walking through. But yeah, we have 2 children with some special medical needs. One is 11 years old. When he was about 2.5, we found out in a very dire situation that he was missing the bottom part of his spine. And what that entails is a lot of things, some things that we're not going to disclose here because of the sensitive nature of it. But we're very, very fortunate that we're in a good spot today. I think the challenge with him is medical, like insurance and things like that. That's always very, very difficult to get what he needs. Because unfortunately, when the world sees one thing and they don't see what's going on the inside, they think like, okay, maybe it's not medically necessary. So he has something called caudal regression syndrome, which is also known as sacral agenesis. It's when you're in utero and your spine doesn't form properly. And so he's missing the nerves and a part of his spine at the bottom. And every day we have medical procedures that we have to do. And but from the outside, it just looks like an 11-year-old boy who loves life, loves to run, jump, play with his friends. But he faces challenges every single day. And he wouldn't share those with others at all. But he's persevered through so much. I mean, we just celebrated his birthday in April. And every year it's kind of like a sensitive time because it takes us back to one of the times he was hospitalized. Yeah, hospitalized for a few weeks. They were going to air flight him somewhere because he was not responsive. And we prayed, and I was reading the Bible, and God spoke to me and said, you know, you're reading my word and that's great, but will you speak it over him? And so I started reading it out loud, and he popped up from the hospital bed, and he wore little baby glasses, and he says, "Where are my glasses?" And so that was the first time that we really depended on God as far as our kids go. And it was just one of those things where it was like, God, you have to be in this. We cannot do it alone. And so just listening to his voice and being obedient to that, he just showed us, what he can do through that. And so that was a very sweet blessing. But our other son, he is 7 now. He has speech apraxia. He has anxiety disorder and sensory processing disorder. So basically, those are a lot of big words. Some people will understand what we're talking about. Some might not. But I encourage you to research it so that you know other little kids around you, like what they could be going through. Sometimes you don't see a difference on the outside, but they could be struggling on the inside. But Grant has struggled with anxiety tremendously. When he was 3 months old, he had something called human metapneumovirus on top of all of that, and was in the hospital for a very long time. And their reasoning for his anxiety which is so bizarre to me, is that he was traumatized from that situation at 3 months old. So we don't often think about trauma, how it could affect us even when we're younger, and then later it will come out and kind of like show itself. And so every time we went to a doctor's appointment, we even got near a hospital, anything, he would just, he had a very difficult time with it. But there were times that he would get very violent with me in front of other people. These were beyond tantrums, right? These were things that he was struggling with. He'd walk outside, it'd be too hot, and he would panic. He wouldn't know what to do. He's like, my skin's burning off. And we'd be like, no, buddy, no. And so it's been years and years of therapy, which I always tell friends who are struggling with anything like this, like, don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid to go see a counselor, to see a therapist, because at the end of the day, that could be the very thing that helps to encourage you. It helps to help your child who's maybe going through something difficult. And I always credit our behavioral therapist. She's watching, but all of his therapists are amazing. So let me say that. But his behavioral therapist was the one who was really trying to help us teach him how to cope with life, like day-to-day life. So dealing with the hot sun when you walk outside, or if something's not in the right order or in the right place, or if the crust of the bread breaks off. Dealing with those things that sensory related, like we don't notice it on a day-to-day level, but he notices it. It's very amplified. And so I always say that his behavioral therapist helped me the most. yeah, she gave us the tools to really be able to help him. And I'm so thankful for all the great therapists that have come alongside of our family and helped him. He's 7 now. He went to his first vacation Bible school. Not his first one, but his first one without having a brother with him for like comfort and guidance. And he did so well. I mean, we were just blown away with the response. Like we'll pick him up and we'll kind of sit in the back and watch him, and he's excited. And before he was petrified. I mean, he would, and he still has moments like that. But we've learned a great bit in this time with both children of how we can try to meet them where they're at and what they're going through. I think it's very important to take the time to try to help them.
Amen.
Yeah, that's so good. So how does that affect you? You've got 2 children with special needs, with just what you have to do day to day. What's your schedule look like with everything you do as a mom? You've got 2 kids that don't have special needs, 2 with. You do a great job at awesome marriage. Your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful wife.
Wonderful wife. You're the one who's supposed to say that. I just set you up, you know?
Thank you. Well, I don't know if I'd be half of the wife that I am today if I didn't have such a great support system, a great husband. We'll start with him. But a man of God who prays over us and really believes that God can help us through all things. So when I'm doubting, he's there. And I'm so thankful for that. And also for the church and the community of the people who come alongside of us. Like I said, the therapists and things like that. But day-to-day life it's great. So don't hear anything crazy. Like I don't enjoy my kids, because I do. But life can be challenging. So like I said, we do medical things with our 11-year-old daily. Sometimes people have like shown up unannounced. That really puts like a wedge in our day, especially when I'm helping them. So they're my priority during the day. We homeschool them. We did that pre-COVID. It's something that we felt the Lord was leading us to do. And he has definitely revealed why when we've been walking through all of these medical things. There's no way I think that we could have gotten through a lot of them if we had to pull them out of school constantly and taken them to all these therapies and appointments. So I'm so thankful for the Lord's guidance there for sure. But day to day is homeschool. It's lots of chores around the house. We got a little, we call it the Naylor farm. So we got some chickens and a garden, and we spend lots of times with friends because it is very valuable to us to be around people who can pour also into our children. But yeah, life it can be busy, but it's great.
Well, if people are listening that you have children with special needs, we just want them to know that we're here for you. We'll pray for you. You can email Chrissy at chrissy@awesomemarriage.com if you have questions or want to talk to a mom that's dealing with those things, or Ryan as a dad. So please let us know if we can reach out and help any of you guys in any way, even praying for you. We'd love to do that.
Yeah.
What about the other 2 boys? I guess we should not just ignore them. And how did they deal with having 2 brothers that with special needs?
It has been challenging. They're all just kids trying to be a kid and live their life and have a good time. But there were some years that were really, really hard. My oldest took it, I think, the hardest. He was the only child for about 5 years.
Yeah.
So to have another child come in and then also need all this extra attention was a little bit of a challenge for him. But I think throughout the years, just drawing close to the Lord, showing him that, we can be different. Things can be hard, but God can still be good and faithful through it. I think that's helped him tremendously too. And now I would say he is just such a great joy. He's just a big help, and he has such a helpful heart. As far as the baby, he is 5 years old, and he is as big as my 7-year-old. That's his fault. And I think he's handled everything very well. I mean, he came along at the end and just kind of goes with it all. And he does just such a great job. But we do try to make special time for them. It's very important that they feel, loved and valued and wanted as well, because they really are. We're very thankful.
They are. And the other 2, they're very patient.
Yeah.
They know, okay, well, mom and dad are going to be doing X, Y, Z for a little bit. We need to help them with this. And they understand. Maybe they didn't always understand, but at this point they understand, and they're patient, and they're like, okay, well, is there something I can do in the meantime to help you? Do you need with this, or would you like us to be doing this? Just setting themselves up for that time when maybe we can't be there for them.
Sure.
But they are encouraging as well, and I love to see a sibling encouraging their other sibling, brother, sister, brother to brother, whatever it may be. But that is wonderful. The one being encouraged can also be encouraging to the other ones. It works vice versa. They kind of feed off each other like that, and it makes them feel maybe just like a regular child, not knowing, always thinking, I have special needs, I got to do this. No, I'm just one of the kids. I'm one of the boys, and here we go. Let me take care of this real quick. Then we go outside and play, or wherever it may be.
Yeah.
Play a video game. Sometimes we let them do that. They got all their children done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. So when you homeschool, you got 4, which is a lot to homeschool, and you got 2 with special needs. Is it hard to get all that done?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is hard. I would say the consistency of things when things are going smoothly and everything's falling in place is great. But it's those hiccups, right? Where one of them is not feeling well and I'm having to tend to that. Again, it's been great to have Hunter. He steps in. I feel like he's always been a leader. I don't know if it's like first child syndrome or what, but that's always been his heart, is to help and to lead. And he even does it outside of the home. It's like a natural thing for him. So I feel like giving him the opportunity to kind of take that leadership role when I'm doing other things has been very helpful in him growing into the man that he's becoming. I love seeing that. But yeah, day-to-day things can be hard to get it all done, but we do the best we can. And again, the flexibility with homeschool, that's been a huge blessing for us in our life as well. So if, dad comes home and they need a little extra help, dad will jump right in there. And I'm very thankful for a husband who will do that. He could say, I'm tired. I've lifted 10,000 pounds of tires today. But he never does that. And I'm so thankful for him. Would be okay if he did take a day off.
Thank you. I wanted to highlight on that flexibility as well. Sometimes Chrissy's very ambitious and she wants to get 19 things done during the day. And sometimes you're not able to, you can only do 18 and it might upset her a little bit. But having that flexibility to know that, okay, well, we didn't get it done today, but we can put it on tomorrow's list.
Tomorrow.
And I'd sometimes have to remind her kindly that, you can't always do it all, but we do have the flexibility. And yes, it is a lot to do in one day, but we're going to eventually get it done.
Yeah.
And you were able to do what you had to.
Yeah, since I've known you guys, I've just seen you guys work so well together. And I think that's so important, just as parents anyway, but especially when you've got 4 children and 2 with special needs. So if parents are looking today that are struggling with a child with special needs, what's one thing that you would tell them?
Oh, there's so many things I'd want to tell them. But I think one thing that stands out to me is don't lose hope. Don't get so lost in what you're walking through, even though it's hard, even though it's heavy, it can be overwhelming. Go back to God. Allow him to pour his strength into you. You don't have to do it on your own. Find community. Have people out there who love you, love your children, and would be willing to be there for you guys, and let them help. So often I would have a hard time, like, my parents are amazing, but I would be like, I don't want to burden them. I don't want to make them sad or like make them have to do all this extra stuff. And I learned very quickly that I needed them. I needed that extra help when Ryan was at work and things of that nature. So if people offer help and you trust them, let them help you. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right.
That's so good. Okay, this is the first time we've ever done this, and I don't know if it's Chrissy's idea or Ryan's or whatever, but I'm gonna give you a chance to ask me a question. So,
okay.
What would you ask?
Okay, my question to you is, I know that you've seen many, many marriages in the counseling room, maybe who've had medical issues within themselves or with their children. What piece of advice would you generally give to them that the listeners could benefit from?
I think there's always hope. I think that's important for us to know that we do, as you guys said and have demonstrated, we have a God that cares for us, that knows those needs, And so, sometimes obviously we pray for complete healing, and that doesn't always happen. But I think the hope always is that God's going to walk through things with us, and he's always there for us, and he is going to have answers we don't have. And so I think anytime we're dealing with something, and I think it's harder when they're kids. I've had so many parents that their child will have something that said, I wish I could have had it instead of them, because we just kind of want to protect them. And so I think it is harder when we see our kids do that. But also, I've also seen some of these kids, God, not only do amazing things in them, but then people look at them and they're just a living witness of faith and what God can do. And so I think sometimes also not only hope, but just keeping your perspective realistic of where you are right now, and that there's good in that. Sometimes we think, oh my gosh, we've got this to deal with. You do. God's going to be with you. But over time, I think you see that there's good in it, and God's going to use it, and he's going to use your kids. I just know he will. I've seen him do it over and over and over.
Amen. That's good. Amen. That's so good. Did you have a question for him?
Well, Dr. Kim, at our house, you are seen as a superhero that goes around saving marriages all throughout the world. So what's your superhero name? I don't know if you got the chance to.
I haven't thought about that. I mean, Superman always was my favorite, but probably because Superman was one of the few superheroes around when I was growing up, and so he's still my favorite. I don't wear a cape. I've thought about it, but I don't wear a cape. So I probably, if I said anything, it would be maybe Superman for marriage or something like that, because that's what my passion is, and I know that the super part of it comes from God and what he's done, and what he continues to do. In what we do. Good question. Yeah.
Love it. We call you Doc. You're awesome.
Thank you. You guys are nice. That's why, we have such a great team, Chrissy being a part of it. That's why it's such a joy. I mean, I love what God's called us to do, but I love the people we get to work with. We're very, very blessed, and just getting to know all the other husbands, that are kind of behind the scenes most of the time. But I know that they're there and their support is there, and that makes such a big difference. So we guess all the time we have today. Thank you guys so much for joining us and spending time with us. Love you guys. Love your family. And thanks for taking your time today.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
You bet. So next week we'll be around about 10 o'clock Central Time again. If you have any questions that you'd like us to deal with, if you want us to go further into children with special needs, anything that we've discussed today, send us a message, comment. You can email Chrissy at chrissy@awesomemarriage.com. Obviously, you can email me at drkim@awesomemarriage.com. We always want to be there for you. We have a special show with Lara coming up next week, so we'll see you guys back again then. Till then, have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.